So it feels familiar for most clinicians to use it because they're probably using some parts of it already. It's just a little bit different way of going about it.
Right, good. So how often do you have the workshops, and do you have them right there in Central Mass?
I've been teaching at Boston University once a year for Level 1, which is a 2-day class, since 2002, most years. Some years, for whatever reason, it doesn't work out, but most years I've been teaching that. And then I also have taught at various clinics throughout New England. We'll go in and teach, a whole group of clinicians that are working at a clinic how to get more out of the time they have with their clients. Right now, I usually do two workshops at Clark University, which is my alum, and both the 2-day workshop and then the 1-day workshop, which is fairly easy to get to for most people in New England.
Yes, and you are looking for other venues as well if anyone's interested in providing space for your work, for your gentle processing workshop, with getting other clinicians involved so that they go on and do that good work. And I want to thank you for doing this, Diane, because you're elevating humanity. I mean, the human race is so needed. All of us, cry out or need or want love at some level. And when you've got that healing component and you're feeling free without all the baggage, you're able to pass that on, that energy, that love energy that feels so good that we all surely need. So I thank you for your good work.
Well, it's wonderful, Deborah, because once, as you say, you get rid of that baggage, you can be the true person you came to the world to be. Like I have an artist who was so afraid of going out of his house, he wasn't really able to get much work done. And now he's doing really well in New York City, and he's getting really well known, which it allowed him to be what he was meant to be. And the same with people who want to perform or write or just whatever it is, whatever dreams they have, it helps them to really blossom once they don't have the baggage or the trauma hanging around their necks.
Right. And who doesn't want to feel that freedom? And that when you're in the freedom, that's when you are able to allow all the creative juices to really come forth, and all the goodness that comes from that. I mean, that's what we thrive on, is that creativity. Yes, that's
so. I would really love it if there's anybody out there, anywhere in the world, that is looking for a workshop like this that is going to change the way they work with people. And I've taught numerous nationalities and types of people, and everybody seems to get something out of it that they can take back and use with whoever, whatever their background is. So if there are people who are interested, please get a hold of me, because I'm willing to.
Yeah, you want to give your information out? Do you feel comfortable giving your number out and email?
I think I just assume they can go to my website, because
the website, yes,
to learn more, which is just gentlereprocessing.com.
Right,
and
that makes sense.
Quite a bit of information on that, including my contact information for anybody.
And now for workshops that are, how far do you go? Like, say that, you're in Central Mass. Would you go as far as Western Mass to do a workshop?
I've gone as far as New Mexico to do a workshop.
Oh, okay. So you're not...
Western Mass wouldn't be that far for me.
Okay, so you can take your workshop in any country that you choose.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Good.
I've taught in Canada. I've taught in France. Where I'm really willing to go wherever to help get this work out there, because it is so easy to use, and it is so potent with clients.
Yes, I can feel that. Yeah. So tell us another example, because that's how people relate when you tell a story about a client with an issue and what happened. Do you have one in mind?
So I had, when I first started this, I had a Vietnam vet, and he had not been able to sleep in 50 years, because what he would do is he'd stay up night after night until he was so tired he'd just collapse, and then he would sleep, because every night he had a nightmare about the war. And he just couldn't get away from it. And he had flashbacks. He'd be walking down the street, and if a car backfired, he'd jump under a car thinking he was back in the war. And this went on. And I saw him for about 6 months. And first thing we took care of was the nightmares, and he started being able to sleep, and then the flashbacks. And unfortunately, he had used drugs and alcohol to kind of self-medicate, and he became very ill from using those too much. But the last years he had in life, he was sleeping and was not having flashbacks or getting triggered by the war.
There's such a volume of work to be done with all the vets on so many levels. When you think about a lot of these young kids that go over there to see what they see and experience, and maybe even have a part in taking someone else's life. I mean, that's and then they're supposed to come back and just fit back in with family and friends and whatever, and to be just like nothing happened, which is so.
Well, if anybody had any contact with the Veterans Administration that work with PTSD, I'd go anywhere in the United States just to teach them all how to do this, because it does make a huge amount of difference.
Yes.
And if the kid's coming back and got the treatment right away, it would. The suicide among veterans is that after
it's so high.
It's so high, and this would make a huge amount of difference, I think.
I'm wondering too with kids with the opioids, if they got to a place where they were clean and then did some work with the gentle reprocessing, because, well, many people are addicted because of prescription drugs from a surgery or something, but or the other piece, the other side of it is someone turned them on to it, and it's such an addiction, it's just obscene. But there's always a core. There's always something at the core that I think that drives people to even try. Have you worked with any recovery people in the opioid world?
I have not. I've worked with people who have alcohol issues and other kinds of drug issues. The other thing that's kind of nice about this is, so if you had, say, a limb removed, and you have what they call phantom limb pain, phantom limb pain, I believe with gentle reprocessing, it could help the body realize that limb is no longer there and doesn't have to be hurting. Because the body still believes that limb is there, and that's why they're still having pain from it.
That's really something.
Because it goes to the body and the feelings that's connected to having. So say there's total terror about losing that limb, which makes sense if the body doesn't want a limb cut off. You
Right.
get rid of that terror, and then the limb no longer feels that pain.
Yeah. It would be amazing. I just thought if you were able to duplicate yourself or have some of the other clinicians go with you to the VA hospitals and
what I really need to
people
do
while they're there.
is teach people how to do this, because they know the ins and outs of working with vets much more than I do. And they can use this for doing that. They can just add it to the repertoire they already have.
Yeah.
And that's the same with any other person I'm training. There was a young woman who was working with challenged children. And, they had Asperger's and on the spectrum and behavior problems and all kinds of things. And she's been making such a huge amount of difference in her clinic, her alone. And she's sent other people to me to be trained so that there can be more of these. But the kids' behaviors have totally changed.
Yeah.
So I don't work with that population all that much, but she did. So she could take Gentle and use it in a venue that worked for her. Because she already had the skill set to work with that population.
Right. Excellent.
So it seems to work. It seems to blend well with other people's skill sets.
Yes.
And really add to how much they can do for their clients.
And that's what we all, that's the objective, is to help and get people to be at that peace and all. Well, we have to go on our next break, so stay with us, everyone, and we'll be back in a couple of minutes.
Experience a different yet profound healing with Reconnective Healing. Includes yet expands beyond any and all known forms of energy healing. The Reconnective Healing spectrum is comprised of the full healing and evolutionary continuum of energy, light, and information. It allows for healings that are not just physical, not just mental, not just emotional, yet go beyond that to bring healing that includes the evolution of your very being and essence. Deborah Beauvais, trained and certified by world-renowned Dr. Eric Pearl, offers appointment hours at Seacock Family Chiropractic in Seacock, Massachusetts. For questions or to set up both distance or local sessions, call Deborah at 508-431-1959. Again, 508-431-1959. Or go to lovebyintuition.com. That's lovebyintuition.com.
Looking for a fun and relaxing getaway? Omega Rest and Rejuvenation Retreats are a great way to unwind and renew your spirit. Stroll through the garden, relax by the lake, or try a daily yoga or movement class. You can stretch your body, quiet your mind, and do as much or as little as you choose. Located in Rhinebeck, New York, just 90 miles north of New York City, Omega's natural environment and quiet pace allow for extraordinary experiences to unfold. Learn more at eomega.org.
Are you searching for a way to help create global change? Dream Vision 7 Radio Network's vision is to have an eclectic group of radio hosts dedicated to educating, enlightening, and helping humankind with positive messages and tools that enhance lives using different modalities and programs. If you would like to join our team and help illuminate the universe, call Deborah at 508-226-1723 or Deborah at dreamvision7radio.com.
This is Dream Vision 7 Radio Network, uniting mankind with universal love. Our shows are created from the heart, bringing each listener to a place of divine enlightenment. Breathe, relax, and enjoy. Let life flow.
The lines are open, so there's still time for you to call in and ask Diane a question. We're talking about how does trauma keep you from blossoming, and Diane Spindler is the founder of Gentle Reprocessing, and that's how you can get a hold of her too, gentlereprocessing.com, all one word and just how it sounds, gentlereprocessing.com. And to remind everyone and to share with your friends and family that Diane actually